A delayed game is eventually good. A bad game is bad forever. Is it too much to ask that games on the Nintendo Switch should run at least 720 docked now that we are this far into the Nintendo Switch's life cycle? Is it too much to ask that a game run without the use of patches and fixes? I'm tired of low quality games and ports on the Switch. The console has been around for long enough for the devs to figure this out. Games like Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night, My Time at Portia, Mutant Year Zero, and Pillars of Eternity are the most recent examples of poor development on the Nintendo Switch. Do you really want that first impression of your game to be that bad, and then making a consumer wait 45 days for a patch? Games should not be released in the conditions we get them in. I understand that there may be some behind the scenes stuff that we as consumers aren't really privy to, but publishers and devs need to work together on this. Forcing a game out that clearly isn't ready is lazy. Well, at least it gives the impression of being lazy. For example, Pillars of Eternity had an issue where the character's speech text was garbled and it looked like it was hieroglyphics. While this particular bug wasn't really game-breaking, it was obviously there from the initial release, which tells me that they were okay with that and maybe intended on patching it later. Well, they did, kinda. The patch was delayed for a while to incorporate a larger amount of bug fixes that needed to be done, and the text issue, for the most part, is fixed. And when we were finally able to download the patch over 30 days after release, they still have a lot more to go. Bloodstained is another one that bothers me. I know that there's a graphical downgrade, and I can understand this being a Nintendo Switch owner, but when we have a game like Astral Chain looking the way it does, I begin to take issue with this. But anyway, the major issue for me was when people who own the game were warned not to download a certain patch. I believe it was 1.02. If you started the game on 1.02, you would be unable to complete the game. And the patch size is literally about the size of the entire game on the cartridge. So I have bought the physical cartridge, but for what reason? I have to download the entire game anyway. This is one of the problems with modern conveniences. Developers and publishers push out a game, for the most part functions as it should, and then relies on fixes after release. Where it becomes an issue for me is when functionality is detrimental to playing the game. There really isn't a need to hurry these games though, especially because most of them are digital only. Why not just delay the digital release? You don't have to worry about your vendors. So, what are your thoughts on ports that have gone bad? Does it bother you at all? Am I alone in this? Let me know in the comments below what you think.